Buddy William, the same guy that recommended the Innocents last month. And it's another recommendation for a movie that to review that I'd never heard of. I think there was a video game called this, and that's what I thought of immediately when
That's
you
what
said
I
it.
did too. Yeah.
But this movie it came out in 2017. It was like filmed over the span of a decade. All right. So it's one of those movies that
15 years, actually. Yeah.
the director, Andrew Getty, he was like a millionaire and he had a lot of issues as well.
He did.
Self funded this movie and started working on it in like 2002, I think. Filmed most of it in like 2004 and 2005. And he was, it was like the Chinese democracy of independent horror movies.
That's right.
He was fucking with it for years and years and years and years and years. And while he was still editing it, he passed away. He had like wasn't it a drug overdose or something like that? He was
He
on
was,
meth.
yeah, he was a methamphetamine addict, and apparently, like, he had a ulcer that hemorrhaged, and like you can kind of tell that he was when you watch this movie, like he was experimenting with some hardcore drugs. But ultimately, though, the weird thing about this movie to me is that it had some amazing shots in it. Like there was some amazing scenes in this that I totally didn't see coming. Like that you know, that were truly kind of like, I don't know, like David Lynch-esque, kind of terrifying. But unfortunately, and we'll get into this more, it was kind of like you can't make a movie over a period of 15 years, just like you can't make an album over the period of 15 years without it being somewhat of a jumbled mess.
Right.
And it kind of is.
I think like the concept of the movie and a lot of the shots, like you were saying, was amazing. And we'll
Yeah.
talk about the movie too. Just give you, I mean, it's kind of like one of those trippy type movies where you're like, what in the fuck is going on here? But the basic plot is this guy named Dennis has a mental disability.
I like the way you put that. I'm glad you put it that way.
Yeah, I have to be politically, well, I don't even know. They did actually classify people as retarded, though, Uncle Bill, back in the day. You just
Yes, they
can't.
did.
You just cannot say that anymore because that's not nice. It's like calling a little person a midget now. You should not do that.
No, back when I first started, like in the counseling field, which was 2009, um, that's what they were referred to. Like that was the standard, like, diagnosis. By the way, like, was mental retardation, and then that changed somewhere within the last, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, something like that. I guess, but it had to be 10 years. Yeah. So I
But
don't know.
anyway,
Anyway, the guy is the guy in this is
Frederick Kohler is the actor's name, I think he does a
yes.
great job with what he's given for the character because he's playing a dual role. He has in his nightmares or dreams or whatever, he does not have the disability that he has for real. He's kind of like, a regular guy. And then he has a nightmare about this mirror that he looks into where an evil version of himself is, saying all these sadistic things to him about what he needs to do and everything. And his brother, played by Sean Patrick Flannery,
Who's
who,
supposed to be a douchebag in real life, by the way.
well, I can believe that totally.
Yeah.
He buys Dennis that mirror. His dreams or nightmares come to life when his alter ego, I don't even know how to do the dark Dennis,
Yeah, Dark Dennis.
dark Dennis
Yeah.
tells him to go out and kill some animals, like some pets at
Get
first.
up and kill.
Tells him to kill some kids, right? And then Dennis slowly starts to become a damn serial killer, Uncle Bill.
But you're missing, like, one of the most important plot points, which I thought was, like, insanely un-PC. So the mere deadly Dennis, Dark Dennis thing tells him to do those things.
Are you a dark Dennis?
Dark Dennis. Because if he does them, he's supposed to get smarter. That's
Right.
what he wants.
That's
That's what
right.
he's trying to accomplish by killing all these things. Is that the mirror
He's
is
going to
trying to
be
convince him?
cured from his mental
Yes,
retardation.
which is what he wants, right?
So
And in the midst of all this, he keeps having these nightmares and things that involve Michael Berryman as this. He's called the cadaver, I think, in the credits, but it's just like this kind of weird creature that like kills him in his dreams and is like, haunting him through this mirror and all this stuff too. Which, by the way, the makeup that they had on Michael Berryman was fucking horrifying. Like that was really effective when they did that.
I thought like the movie, and it was filmed. I mean, a long time ago, but I would have never known that it was filmed that long ago unless, I read about it because it does not look like an older movie at all. It
No.
looks like a modern movie. And out of nowhere, towards the end of the movie, Matt McGrory, who played Tiny in The Devil's Rejects, who passed away the same year The Devil's Rejects came out, was in this. And I'm like, what the fuck? That dude died fucking like
Mhm.
15, 16 years ago. So, I mean, the story behind this movie is ultimately better than the movie just because this guy just went fucking nuts. He spent his life savings on this movie.
He was obsessed with it apparently to the point where, from what I read about it, like he would not let it be put out because he was just going over it and over it and over. And I'd say the methamphetamine had a lot to do with that too,
Yeah.
because it just makes you obsessive about like certain things. And so he just would not let it get released, and he had to die, literally had to die before like it could be released. And so
Yeah.
somebody else, the producer, finally put it out. And the weird thing is though, to me in watching this, like it's not a bad movie. Like it's not a great movie, but it has like some scenes in it that are better than like 90% of the stuff that comes out nowadays. Like a lot of it's really imaginative. There's a scene where the brother has this girlfriend who the guy never did like because she was always trying to like get him to get the brother to put him in this like insane asylum so that
Mhm.
they could be together and get married and all this stuff. And so she comes over and he's in the bad dentist, like dirty dentist stage, and
He's a dark dentist.
dark dentist stage. And like she hears this baby crying and she walks over to this like where there's this baby in a crib and opens up the crib, and I don't know how the hell they did this shot, but like the baby kind of like just falls away, and then the guy kind of like rises up from the crib. It's like a great shot that you don't see coming. Like, and I'm not entirely sure how they did it, really.
Alpha's mentioning, I think it was Richard Linklater did the same thing with Boyhood, but that was intended. That was a vision.
Yeah, that was.
This fucking guy, he just couldn't, he was totally Axl Rose mode.
I
But
wish this guy like actually intended to do this movie this way.
this movie, though, was inspired by real nightmares that the director had, childhood nightmares,
I believe that.
which is interesting. And the movie was filmed in his mansion. It started filming in 2002. Honestly, man, like it is an interesting movie for a few reasons. I mean, the fact that most of this stuff was shot in 2004 and 2005, never saw the light of day anywhere until 2017 when it finally came out. The director couldn't see the final, you know.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like to me, this movie was like a cross between Oculus and Brain Scan, like in a way. Um, Except you have like instead of the trickster character from Brain Scan, you have like the guy in the mirror character, like the dark dentist character that's trying to turn this guy evil and all this stuff, and he doesn't know what he's doing and everything.
Kim
But
Darby is in this too, is like a
she
fucking
is there's
glorified like extra or
there's
whatever.
all kinds of like cameos in this movie of people that probably should not be in this movie. Like
Well, I think the plot of the movie is actually really good. I think that they could go somewhere, like somebody could take that concept and you could really go. I mean, I don't know if you could do a mainstream movie, probably not with the same plot, but I like the
No,
whole idea behind the movie.
I don't think you could. Um, I recommend it though. Like, I think that people should watch. Here's where it falls apart though to me. It falls apart to me in all of the scenes that are kind of like the exposition scenes and the scenes where it's just the actors, and you feel like, at least I did, that they were just trying to fill up a part of the movie, and all these scenes were like cobbled together, like all the scenes with the brother and his girlfriend that where they're talking about all this stuff. They have these
Hmm.
dinner scenes that don't go anywhere,
Yeah.
and these other scenes with some of these extras and cameos and stuff, like they don't go anywhere. And so all of that drags the movie down. The stuff with the actual like main actor, um, and his dark half or whatever are all great, and the dream sequences are all great, and they're all filmed really, really well. It's just everything else kind of like takes away from the flow of the movie, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, it's another solid recommendation from our buddy William. The Evil Within, you can get this for almost nothing. It's on YouTube if you just want to check it out. That's actually how we watched it. You just search for The Evil Within 2017 and it'll pop up. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what William has for us this month, Uncle Bill. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta admit, like he's got some bangers so far. Like the stuff that he recommends is usually like
Bangers, boy.
crazy.
You're a
Yeah,
hit motherfucker now.
yeah, that's what the kids say. Bangers.
Let's get to banging. So
No,
give us the thumbs up,
up your butt.
like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
not.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on
No,
YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell.
Hey folks, it's Oak Early Jaws. I might be banned off of YouTube, but that doesn't mean I can get you some great shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. First, we got Steve Bedingfield post goes against our community standards in nudity or sexual activity. We got the deadpit.com shirt. We got Cardboard. We got L Lord. We got Tales from the Dark Side. We got Dead Pit. And we got a Princess Puffin shirt, boss. It doesn't get any fucking better. Brandon, add the accident. Oh. But these shirts just get better and better, boss. You gotta go over to shop.deadpit.com and pick you up some shirts right fucking now. What are you fucking waiting for? Do it. Do it now, because old Curly Jaw said so.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.